Hello, I'm back. I have another message for you guys. If I have any new viewers, this channel is called Reflections of My Evolution, and this channel has to do with giving you guidance and help and helping you navigate through those that know and have the awareness that this is a simulated reality that we are all inside of, that we are playing every day. So if you're going through any type of ascension or an awakening process, you will pretty much kind of be able to resonate with the type of information that I speak about, the topics that I usually talk about as well. Okay. Today's topic has to do with the 3D. When a lot of people see the word 3D or, oh, this is going on in the 3D or whatever, I just wanted to amplify what that means when people bring that up. Just so that you know what you're seeing around you, in your simulated experience is already a reflection of your past. Okay, so what appears to be presently happening in front of you is already old. It's already old news, it's old manifestations, it's old patterns, old things that you focused on, old stories that you told in your mind and your imagination picked them up and made them into experiences. So basically the 3D is a delayed reflection of your past. Okay. So what you want to do is that whenever you see anything around you, because anything that is around you currently qualifies as the 3D, whether it's in the physical realm, which is what you see when you walk out of your house or your apartment and you walk outside, that's all of the 3D. Okay. There's also the 3D in the different format, which is like on the internet. So if you're someone who's actively on social media regularly, you're going to see that come up. You know what I mean? So that's going to show up also in those areas, social media and places like that. Even here on YouTube, all of it is part of the social media, or the internet, if you want to call it that way. So anything that you see is pretty much already the past. Okay. If in the 3D you see something that you don't like, that is kind of makes you sad, it could even make you angry, or it could make you feel a certain type of way, don't act on those feelings. You know what I mean? Because this could recreate another trigger pattern, and if you see something that upsets you, just remember, this is already the past. This is already a reflection of something you already experienced in your mind, and it's only barely coming up in the surface to be expressed in your simulation, in your 3D. Okay? So if you see that you're having experiences that you don't resonate with anymore, if you're having bad experiences with other characters, if there's things like drama that is coming up, gossiping, slander, people talking things behind your back, people making up stories about you, and especially if it's with characters that you've never met in the physical realm, like in person, in the physical body, even disregard them even faster. You know what I mean? Because all these things are just patterns of your past. And if they're coming up as being toxic or negative, it's basically part of your conditioning from when you were pretty much unconscious, and you were unaware that your mind was creating on autopilot, whether it was good or bad. All right? The 3D and the fact that it's the past doesn't just apply to the things that you see around you. You know what I mean? It also applies with any interactions that you have with other characters. You know what I mean? If you have a very negative interaction or a toxic interaction with another character, it also, fits into the category of the past. I will be making a video. I've been guided to make a video about self-concept, which will be coming up sometime in the near future. And this will tie into this message as well. And you guys will, self-concept, just to give you a very surface level explanation, is how you see yourself. It's basically, what stories are you telling about yourself as you, your person? You know what I mean? How do you see yourself? What do you think about yourself? You know, what are your inner beliefs about who you are and what you stand for? That's pretty much what self-concept is. Okay? Every character, or I guess we could use it in the 3D form, every person that is in your simulation is playing a part. Okay? Whether you know the person, whether you've never met them, every single character or every person that comes into your awareness is playing a role in your simulation. Okay? It could be something simple like a person walking down the street. And that particular character's role is to, at that moment in time, to walk down the street in front of you. Okay? Excuse me. There's characters that are driving their cars down the street. There's characters that are pumping gas at the gas station. There's characters randomly doing things around you. Okay? And this simulation plays out like a movie, you know, and I believe in a prior video, I think I explained that a little bit, the way this simulation shows up, you know, into your awareness. It's like a movie. And in a movie, there's extras. So that's what I mean by characters that you don't even know, that you just see in the background. They're like background people in a movie, like extras. Okay? And then there's characters that are main characters, and these are the types of people that I would qualify that are always in your immediate awareness, like people that you would call your close friends or your family, or people that you socialize with very, you know, on a common basis, or very regularly, I should say. This simulation has a lot of technologically advanced stuff that is laced into it. What I mean by that is that, I mean, this simulation really looks real, okay? And it feels real, okay? Even your own body that you're in is simulated, but the fact that it feels solid to you is a product of your awareness of that information that was programmed into your mind when you were unconscious, okay? That's why blood is red. That's why we automatically assume that we have bones and tissue and skin and cells and muscles, because that type of information, that knowledge, was programmed into our mind when we were unconscious. So everything that gets programmed into the mind unconsciously, or at any time, even when you are a conscious creator and you are fully aware, it will manifest. Okay? So anything that you put into your mind, if you focus on it and you take it in, you know, as a belief, it will manifest. So this is why when you look at your body, you touch it, you could feel that there's bone under there, okay, that there's flesh, and you can feel yourself. It's because you're aware of that feeling and you're aware of that information. That's what you're supposed to feel when you touch your skin or when you touch your body or any type of body parts. Okay? You are only aware of the information that you have awareness of. Okay? This simulation is supposed to feel and look like you're living a life. Okay? There's, like I've said just earlier, it's very technologically advanced. Okay? There is super high-tech stuff going on here that makes this experience look so real. This whole simulation, you know, is basically, it's a creative machine. You know, it's a machine to create. You know, that's why it's here, and this is why you're tapped in and connected into this simulated reality, because you're creating your experience by what you're focusing on and by what you are making assumptions about, by what you are playing stories in your mind, which basically encourages your imagination, to create stories that eventually will play out in your own simulated experience. Okay. But yes, this simulation is very technologically advanced. And it is meant for the purpose of feeling and looking very real. Okay. At the very beginning, most of you will not be able to believe that this is a simulated experience and that it's actually not physically real, that it's not solid, that it's the whole entire experience that you're having is artificial and it's coming from your mind. It's hard to believe that this is what this has been this whole entire time. But one of the giveaways, as you go along on your journey, as you continue to become more self-aware and you continue to catch on to the patterns of this simulated experience. And even when you notice the glitches, the things that pop up out of nowhere that make no sense and follow no logical pattern, you're going to be able to catch on to those things as you go along. The more self-aware you become, the more that you know as you gain your own experience in your own simulated virtual reality game, the more you will catch on to this whole entire thing being just an artificial simulation. Okay. If this experience was a random life that you were living on a rock called Earth, then your mind would not be creating your experiences. It would just be happening at random. So take a moment to process that and to think that. Okay. Another thing too that gives it away that this is a simulation is that the characters that are here are connected to you. Okay, because you are the main character and everybody that is around you are just extras in your experience. They're here to make this experience look real to you. Okay, they're part of the game. There are other game players that are here with you, basically. So, if this was a random life you were living, if it was actually real and solid, then people would not be able to tap in to what you were thinking about. Because if this was a real life, then people would not be able to catch on to what you're thinking, or thought transmission would not be real. You know what I mean? So just think about that as well, okay? Because the people that are close to you, that are in your awareness, they will catch on to what you're thinking about. And if you focus regularly enough, you will catch on to what other people are thinking or how they think about you. You know what I mean? So if you think about someone in a certain way, that particular character will pick up on your thought transmissions and they will get an idea of what you're thinking about them. Okay, this is what I mean by being in the simulation itself and becoming self-aware automatically gives you amplified psychic abilities because you're connected to everything that is around you. This is where the words "everyone you is pushed out" comes from. Okay, some of you might have seen those words on the internet, or if you're on YouTube, you might have seen them said by someone on a video. When someone says everyone's you pushed out, what that means is that everyone that is here, the extras in your experience, are connected to you. And every single person that is here is reflecting back to you some version of you from the past. It could be a very early version of you that was very stuck in toxicity or very low vibrational behavior patterns or thought processes. So they may show up a certain way that reflects that version of you from that moment in time when you identified with that version of yourself. So basically what I'm trying to say is that everyone here is holding a mirror to you. Okay? Whether you know them well enough or whether you don't. But they're reflecting something about you, even if you don't remember it. Because everyone here is one, and we are all connected and tapped into each other. This is the reason why if you have bad experiences with other characters, I know that it's very easy to react when someone is reflecting back to you a toxic pattern that you once identified with when you were an older version of yourself that maybe you don't even remember anymore because you don't resonate with that older version of who you used to be, with that older version of that person. Okay, so if you have a very bad experience with a character or a group of characters, it's very easy to get upset, to feel like a victim, and to want to retaliate and get revenge and to do something, you know what I mean, to defend yourself because you feel that in a way that you're being victimized, right? You're being treated badly by a person or a group of people. This is why it's very important that no matter how unpleasant whatever interaction you may have with people that you have met in the physical, or if you haven't met them at all, do not respond. You know what I mean? Or I guess what I'm trying to say is do not react would be a better word. If you're having an unpleasant experiences with people, do not react to the behavior that they're reflecting back to you. Because believe it or not, what they are reflecting to you, or the behaviors or the things that are playing out, is a reflection of something in the past that you identified with, or that you had a story about that you were looping unconsciously. Okay? And another thing too, that I'm giving to people as a warning, is do not send people feelings of hate, feelings of ill will or malice, or even anything having to do with 3D based beliefs that have to do with dark arts, because these things will be reflected back. Okay. I've mentioned this in another video as well. A mirror, what does a mirror do when you hold it, right? It reflects back the image to you. So if you've got things coming at you that are coming from a negative place, they will turn around and reflect back to the source. You know what I mean? I don't practice sending things to return to sender. And I don't believe in witchcraft or anything having to do with, black magic or anything of that. Because the only reason that is in my awareness right now is because at some moment in time in the past, I identified with that. And the older versions of me were aware of these types of practices. So this is why they come up a lot in my 3D right now, because the 3D is already a reflection of my old mindset. Okay, so if you have things like witchcraft or black magic come up in your simulation, into your awareness, is because at some moment in time in your past, you focused on those particular subjects. Okay, so like I've said before, this whole entire journey is about being authentic. It's about being real with yourself. Because in order for you to evolve and to reach higher states of consciousness, you got to understand that every experience that you have, whether good or bad, is coming from you. And you have to own up to that. Okay? I'm not talking about blaming yourself for every single thing that comes up. I'm talking about being conscious that everything that you're experiencing is a reflection of your mindset. At some point in time, you focused on the things that you are experiencing right now, even if they're not good and they're not pleasant to experience. So you have to be very honest with yourself on this journey once you find out that you are in a simulation and that everything that you are experiencing is only coming from inside of you. Okay? You're going to get to the point where you can't blame others and you can't point fingers at others, because it's useless, to give that responsibility to another character when it's only coming from you. And at some point in time, even if you don't remember it, whatever may be playing out, at some point in time you focused on it, or it came from a reaction that you had in your past. All right, guys. Well, that is pretty much the message for today. That covers it. Before I close out this transmission, based on the subject line for this download that I received, I had something that came up in my simulation within the last few days. And I could understand now why a source asked me to speak about this particular subject. Okay, because it ties in with what occurred in the past few days that came into my simulation and came into my awareness. First of all, I wanted to say thank you to someone. Since this is a public platform, I am not going to mention any names from this going onward from what I'm about to speak about. I saw your creation. I saw your song and I heard it and I get it. I know what this is coming from and what this is about. And I wanted to thank you. You know, I see it as an act of kindness because you shone the light on a very recent storyline that I had to experience in my simulation with a group of individuals. And once again, I am not going to release any names. I'm going to respect people's privacy because it's not my style to call people out or to slander people. That's just not the way I roll, you know. But I wanted to say thank you to you, you know, and I like your song. Okay, and I feel your energy here, so I know that you come around and you do listen to my messages, and thank you for visiting. And the rest of this message is going to go for the individuals that were involved directly and that also collaborated with this storyline that played out in my simulation. I know that these energies come in and see my channel as well. So I know that they come in. I'm aware of them. So I'm aware of you guys. Let's put it that way. And I just wanted to say that I don't have any bad feelings towards anyone. You know, what happened, happened. And it was a result of my toxic conditioning patterns and the people that played out the roles that they did. It only made me better. You know, I have an affirmation that has become a law in my simulated experience, and that is that whatever I walk away from, I always walk away winning. And that definitely played out for me. You know, I am thankful for this storyline that played out, even though it was not comfortable, and it was there were moments where, you know, it really tested my emotional balance, you know, the skills that I learned to keep my emotions balanced and to keep myself calm, you know, but I actually walked away from this experience a better person. So I wanted to thank everyone that was involved in this storyline, even though I've never met any of you in person. Okay, but thank you for making me a better version of myself. And I am now at peace, and I have a lot of peace in my life, and I would never trade in my inner peace that I have now compared to what I experienced before. So I decided, and I was guided by, you know, my friends, by source energy, to walk away, to sever ties permanently, so I will not be looking back. Okay. I've been guided to remove myself from these, you know, groups of individuals and to not share my energy with these particular individuals. Okay. So I just wanted to wish all of you well. You know, I hope that you have a good life, and I hope that all of you find your happiness. All right. Thank you very much, you guys. And this is the end of the message. I hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming by and visiting my channel. And once again, take this knowledge, you know, take these downloads and use them for your own experience and your own simulation. Okay. And I wanted to say that I love you all, and I will be back soon. All All right? Take care. Bye.